Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is chemical reaction and equation, we were talking about the different types of a chemical reaction. Until that we had understood the combination reaction, student, in which the two or more substances they combine together to form a product, a single product. And then we have started to understand just opposite to that particular reaction, that is the decomposition reaction, and you see that decomposition is opposite to that of the combination reaction. In the combination reaction, two or more reactant, they react together to form a single product. In case of a decomposition reaction, a single reactant breaks into the smaller or more than one products. Okay, so big reactant get converted into the smaller one, you can say. That is why the name itself is a decomposition reaction. So you can see it is just opposite to that of the combination reaction. Now this decomposition reaction, it is also divided into three types. What are the three types? You see, when we were talking about that of the decomposition reaction, we have seen that one single reactant is giving two or more products. It means a big molecule is converting into the smaller one. And to carry out this process, the thing which is needed here is energy. Because of the presence of the energy only, the reactant get converted into the products. Okay, how the reaction get energy? So it can be in the form of a heat, it can be in the form of photons, that is sunlight, or it can be in the form of electricity. So if we are supplying heat to it, then that will come to the thermal decomposition reaction. If we are providing sunlight so that the reaction can be carried out, that reaction will be photolytic decomposition reaction. And if we are providing electricity so that the reaction can take place, then that will be electrolytic decomposition reaction. In thermal decomposition reaction, students, yesterday we have seen few of the reaction, including that of the ferrous sulfate. And we have seen that when we heat a ferrous sulfate, this ferrous sulfate get converted from green to brown. Basically what happened, first of all, the ferrous sulfate that we used to take in the laboratory, it is not in the form of a ferrous sulfate, but it is in the form of a ferrous sulfate heptahydrate. Okay, so since it is consisting of the water molecule, so when you supply heat to it, first of all, the water which is present inside it, it will evaporate in the form of a water vapor. How we will come to know about it that the water is evaporating? So first of all, there will be change in the color. That color from green to white. It means the ferrous sulfate is green in color because of the presence of the water. When we remove water from it, it will turn white. Okay? And again after that, when you add, after dehydrating the water from the ferrous sulfate, when you add water to it, it will again give the color green. So which proves that because of the presence of the water only, it is green in color. Now it will get converted into white. It means that is only ferrous sulfate, and you can see the water in the form of a water droplets, tiny water droplets at the neck of the test tube, and which proves that water is evaporating from it. By continuously heating, you will find that this white color now turns to brown, which help improving that the formation of a ferric oxide, which is also called as iron third oxide. Now not only this, but a gas is also evolved along with its student, and that is the sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. How we will come to know the sulfur dioxide is coming out of it? Due to the smell of the sulfur. So this is a reaction in which when we supply heat, the reaction has taken place. So this will comes under that of the thermal decomposition reaction. Now moving on and see some of the other examples of the thermal decomposition reaction. So decomposition of that of the lead nitrate, that will also comes to the thermal decomposition reaction. Okay, so let me write the reaction first. Decomposition of a lead nitrate. Now you see here PbNO3 whole twice. This will give lead oxide, that is PbO. PbO. Nitrogen dioxide will also evolve along with it. So NO2 and O2. Here we have supplied heat. What is the state, students? So this is what, this is lead nitrate. Let me complete this reaction by writing the name. So this is lead nitrate, Pb, it means lead. Okay, then lead oxide is there. This is lead oxide. This is also in the form of a solid. Nitrogen dioxide in the form of a gas, and oxygen is also in the form of a gas. Nitrogen dioxide. Okay, nitrogen dioxide, and finally oxygen. This is oxygen. Okay, so this is the complete reaction. We have supplied the heat here, and due to which the formation of a lead oxide occurs. How we will come to know that the reaction has taken place, students? So first of all, what we will do, we will take a test tube or a boiling tube, and in which we will add a small pinch of the lead nitrate. You will see that at this time the color of the lead nitrate is just colorless. So it is a kind of a colorless crystals. Okay, it is a colorless crystals, lead nitrate. So there is no actual color of that of the lead nitrate. So we have taken the lead nitrate in a boiling tube, and then we will provide heat to it. So while burning, you will listen some of the crackling sound, and this crackling sound is actually telling that the reaction is taking place inside to that of the boiling tube. And afterwards, after giving heat for a few seconds, you will find that brown fumes are coming out of the boiling tube. These brown fumes are actually confirming about a gas which is evolving due to this decomposition reaction, and that is nitrogen dioxide. So we will say that this nitrogen dioxide will comes out in the form of a brown fumes. Okay. And not only this, but oxygen is also evolved. So how we will come to know that our oxygen is also coming? We will take a splinter, leaded splinter, or a burning splinter, or a lighter splinter, and when we will take it to the mouth of the boiling tube, this will burn with a high flame, and this proves, since oxygen support combustion, so it proves that the oxygen is also evolving from this particular reaction. What about the lead oxide? So not only the brown fumes and the oxygen, but you will find that there are residue left behind which is yellow in color, and which proves that it is what? It is actually lead oxide. So lead oxide is basically yellow in color. Okay, so you can see here that there is a change in the color, as well as there is a evolution of gases also. So this is all, this is the characteristic of a chemical reaction. How we will say that it is a decomposition reaction, since a single reactant is converting into the two or more product. That is why it is a decomposition reaction. How we will say that it is actually comes under the thermal decomposition reaction. So since we are supplying heat to it, and due to which this reaction is taking place, so this will comes under the thermal decomposition reaction. Okay, so we have taken lead nitrate, which was a colorless crystal. When we supply heat to it, then there is a formation of a lead oxide, which is yellow in color. Nitrogen dioxide, which comes out in the brown fumes, and finally oxygen, which burns with a high flame, proves that oxygen gas is also evolving with it. So this is another example of a thermal decomposition reaction. Okay, so there are a lot more, but we have seen that 2-1 of the thermal decomposition reaction. So I hope you have understood thermal decomposition reaction. Question can be asked directly that what is the thermal decomposition reaction, and write some of the reaction by explaining that how the reaction has taken place through this, or how we can say that it is a decomposition or a thermal decomposition reaction. Okay. Now moving on, and we will see the next one. Now the next one is, student, that is photolytic decomposition reaction. Photolytic decomposition reaction. Photolytic decomposition reaction. So in case of the photolytic decomposition reaction, the name itself, photo, it means light, lytic means breakdown. So the reaction in which the decomposition process occur due to absorbing that of the sunlight, or in the presence of the sunlight, that we will call as a photolytic decomposition reaction. So we can write it that when a decomposition reaction occurs or is carried out with the help of sunlight, is carried out with the help of that is a photolytic decomposition reaction. Like suppose A is there and this will give B plus C, and here it is sunlight. Okay, it occurs in the presence of sunlight. So whatever the reaction that take place in the presence of the sunlight, especially if it is a decomposition reaction, then we will include it into the photolytic decomposition reaction. Now you see here, student, what can be the different examples? So decomposition of the silver chloride or silver bromide. So we can write it that silver chloride, AgCl. This is white in color, and in the presence of sunlight, instead of that we can also write it as H mu, which helps us to understand that okay, it is occurring in the presence of the sunlight. It will give Ag plus Cl2. 2Ag. Now we are able to balance it also. So it will be balanced here. Okay. So what we have to do at first, how this reaction has taken place actually, students. So in a petri dish or in a china dish, what we will do, we will take silver chloride. Now what we want to do, we want to show this, we want to use this decomposition process, and due to which we want to obtain the silver only. So basically the silver chloride is white in color. So when we take it in a petri dish or in a china dish, and keep it outside, it means exposed to that of the sunlight, due to the absorption of energy through sunlight, what will happen? Slowly this reaction take place by the converting of this white color of AgCl into the grey color, which proves that here silver chloride is converting into that of the silver. Okay, so you can see that when we keep it that china dish outside in the presence of the sunlight, after a few interval of a time you will observe that there is a change in the color. It is white in color and it get converted into grey color, which proves that here decomposition process occur. And why it is grey in color? Because this is the color of the silver itself. So change in the color, you know that some kind of a reaction has been taking place. So we can say that the reaction which has taken place or which occurs here, which occurred, that is the white color changes to grey. It means silver chloride decomposed to that of the silver and chlorine gas is released. Now here since the reaction has taken place outside in the presence of the light, so that we will include it into the photolytic decomposition reaction. The same thing happened with that of the silver bromide also, students. The same kind of a reaction has taken place in the silver bromide. Okay, AgBr. AgBr in the presence of sunlight, we can write it here Ag plus Br2. So after balancing we will get this one, silver bromide. Here it is silver and here you know that it is a bromine water. Okay, bromine. Bromine is in liquid state, that's why I am writing here bromine or a bromine water, we can say. Okay, so you can see here this reaction is the same that of the silver chloride. So this is an example of that of the photolytic decomposition reaction. Photolytic decomposition reaction occurs in the presence of the sunlight only. It means the photons are responsible for completing the reaction or for carrying out the decomposition reaction. Final, last one, that is the electrolytic decomposition reaction. It means the reaction which takes place in the presence of electricity. Electrolytic decomposition reaction. Obviously, it is carried out with the electricity. So we can write it that when a decomposition reaction is carried out is with the help of electricity, called as electrolytic decomposition reaction. It means here also the reaction is the same, that is A will form B plus C, but due to the presence of electricity. Okay, due to the presence of the electricity, it will get converted into B and C. Okay, this will comes into the electrolytic decomposition reaction. Now you see here, students, what are the different kind of a reaction which is carried out with the help of electricity? So water. decomposition of water also comes to the electrolytic decomposition reaction. You see, students, that it is quite difficult to decompose water. It means to convert it into that of the hydrogen and that of the chlorine. But it can be carried out in the presence of the electric arc or by supplying electricity to it. Basically, what happened here, we will use the two glass one glass jar in which we will keep the two of the test tubes along with the electrodes, and when electricity is supplied to it, water starts break down into the gases, that into the hydrogen and the oxygen. You will find that at both of the test tubes, you will find that the oxygen and hydrogen is present. Although the ratio is different because they occur in the form of 2:1. So at one test tube, the number of the gas will be double to that of the other one. But overall, the thing that we have to understand here, that the reaction is carried out, this reaction only take place in the presence of electricity. It means when we supply electricity to it, only then the decomposition of the water can occur. Okay, so we can write the decomposition of water or electrolysis of the water. Electrolysis of water. Electrolysis of basically what happened here, water H2O gets converted to H2 plus O2. This happens in the presence of electricity. H2O is in the form of the liquid and hydrogen is in the form of a gas. Oxygen is also in the form of a gas, for students. Okay, now you see here that we have to balance it also because oxygen is 2, here oxygen is 1. So we will write here 2. Now the hydrogen become 4. So we will put a 2 here so that the reaction will be balanced. So this is an example of a electrolytic decomposition reaction. Basically, in a jar, we will use 2 test tubes, and these 2 test tubes fitted with a cork through which the electrodes are joined. Electrodes are attached with it. It means through one test tube, one of the electrode, positive electrode is attached to the another test tube, negative electrode is attached. Now these 2 electrodes with the help of the wire is connected to a battery. Now when electricity, and now this whole jar in which the 2 test tubes are fitted, it is filled with the water. Now when you supply the electricity to it, you will find that the bubbles starts forming. So formation of the bubbles proves that the gas is formed. And after some time, after giving supply to the electricity to it continuously, you will find that one of the test tube is filled and the other test tube is filled with the other type of a gas. And it happens, you will find that the negative electrode gas is more than that of the positive one, and the reason is the volume of the hydrogen is just double to that of the oxygen. You know that the water, in case of a water, it occurs in the 2:1. So one of the volume will be more or just double to that of the another one. Okay, so electrolysis of water also comes in the electrolytic decomposition reaction. This is the first example. If we take the second example, so yes, electrolysis of a sodium chloride also. I hope you all are aware of this. We have studied this in class 8 also, electrolytic decomposition reaction. So here, when the electrolysis of a sodium chloride occur, we have taken that of a fused sodium chloride or a molten sodium chloride. Okay, fused or molten. Sodium chloride. Then this sodium chloride breaks into sodium and chlorine gas. So we can write it here that this NaCl is in the form of an aqueous solution. This will get converted into sodium and chlorine. Cl2, this is a gas. 2N is here. 2. Okay. How does it occur? Due to the presence of electricity. So, with the help of the sodium chloride, we will get sodium metal and chlorine. And this happens with the decomposition process. There is another example also, student, and that is an example of aluminium oxide. So, if we have taken the molten aluminium oxide or a fused aluminium oxide, that will also undergo a decomposition reaction and form aluminium metal, and oxygen gas will be evolved. So, we can write the next one, and that is electrolysis of aluminium oxide. Okay. So here we have taken aluminium oxide, that is Al2O3, molten aluminium oxide. This will give aluminium if this process occurs in the presence of electricity, and finally oxygen is evolved along with it. Now what we have to do, we have to balance it, students. So aluminium is here 2, here aluminium is 1, here oxygen is 3, here oxygen is 2. So what we will do first, at first we will try to balance it. Oxygen is 3, oxygen is 2 here. So we can write it here 3 by 2 and multiply everything with the 2 itself. So here it will be 3. Now oxygen is 6 here, but oxygen is still 3 here. So we will do one thing, that we will put a 2. So that 3 into 2, 6. 6 oxygen, 6 oxygen. Now oxygen is balanced. What we have to balance now, that is aluminium. So aluminium is 4 here, aluminium is 1 here. So we will put a 4 so that to balance the aluminium also. So now it is balanced one. Okay. So the oxygen is balanced and as well as the aluminium. So this is the decomposition reaction that taken place with the presence of the electricity, or when electricity passes through it, aluminium metal and oxygen gas is evolved. This is all about that of the decomposition reaction, which is further divided into 3, that is the thermal decomposition, electrolytic and photolytic decomposition reaction. The thing is the same, that here one reactant forms the 2 or more product, but it can be carried out with the help of a heat, it can be carried out with the help of the sunlight, or it can be carried out with the help of the electricity. Now here one more thing is there, student, that what are the uses of the decomposition reaction? Uses of decomposition reaction. So let me write the uses here, that you know that it is carried out in the presence of electricity to get several metals. It means molten metal oxide or chloride gives metal through decomposition reaction. Example: aluminium oxide or sodium chloride gives sodium metal and aluminium metal. Okay. So you can see here, students, that with the help of the decomposition reaction, we are able to get the metals, the pure form of the metals. Okay. So we have seen that the NaCl, it decomposes to give a sodium Na, and Al2O3 will give the En. Okay. So decomposition process also help in giving the metal through metal oxide or metal chloride. Decomposition reaction also take place inside our body where the larger food is break down into the glucose and which finally helps in giving the energy. Okay.